I'm 6 or 7 months into my GLP-1 journey. I'm at least 20 pounds down. I haven't weighed myself lately. I'm feeling more on top of things than I have in a long time. I think it's the lack of food noise. It has opened up mental space and energy and probably just time. Energy that I used to spend thinking about food or trying not to eat. And so with all this time, I'm coming up with systems. And you guys, it's awesome. It's like I finally have the ability to focus on getting my ADHD under control. After menopause, I was diagnosed with ADHD, which it turns out I've had my whole life, but it didn't get really bad until after menopause. If you want to hear that whole story, I would be happy to record a whole episode about it. It's not what I'm going to talk about today. Today, I'm going to talk about how I'm trying to manage it now. But one of the big things is having organizational systems in place to help you. And I travel a lot, so having travel organizational systems really helps. I started with something that isn't just travel related, but everyday related, which is my purse. I mean, this is really why I've gotten so into bags and luggage and packing, is because the more organized I get, the less stressed out I am. And it's been really life-changing. I never thought this would be an outcome of going on a GLP-1 journey, but it is. I would love to hear from you if you also got diagnosed midlife with ADHD. I know it's common. I've never recorded in public before, so I'm going to be talking kind of soft. I'm in my hotel lobby in Copenhagen, and a video you're watching I recorded a couple weeks ago at home and then never finished recording everything for it. So I'm going to do that now and hopefully get it out to you before I come home from my vacation. This is not a fake background, you guys. This is the actual, jungly lobby of my hotel. Isn't it cool? It's not AI. Look. I've gone from carrying a cavernous purse that had everything but the kitchen sink in it to this petite crossbody bag. I'll pack it out in a minute, but it has made my life so much more organized. Before, I literally had to put my big old purse on the hood of my car and dig through it for a couple minutes to find my keys. So I had to figure out, looking at my ginormous purse, what do I actually use and what do I actually need? And this isn't for when I'm traveling. This is for when I'm at home, just, living my life on an everyday basis. So obviously I've got my phone. This is just the case here because I'm filming with my phone. And I've got hand lotion because my hands get dry. I keep a little packet of electrolytes. That Propel brand, there is a little bit of salt and stuff in it, but it's really more just to flavor some water if I'm thirsty on the go and I'm tired of drinking plain water. I keep my passport in my purse. It's my smart ID because I haven't upgraded my driver's license yet. Then I've got a tinted lip balm and a clear lip balm, depending on which one I want. And also, if my husband or some other dude wants chapstick, he doesn't have to wear, a pink one. I carry antihistamine eye drops because if I get allergic, the itchy eyes is what bothers me the most. And so putting some drops in my eyes will kind of tide me over till I get home. This is my wallet. It opens up like this for the cards I use the most. And then in here, some other stuff, some cash and a couple other cards I don't use as often. Sunglasses, ear pods, hand sanitizer, tissues. If you're new here, hi, I'm Bobby. I'm a therapist and an artist, and I'm documenting my GLP-1 weight loss journey here on YouTube. I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm not your therapist. I'm just sharing my personal experience. You should always check with your own healthcare provider when you're figuring out what you want to do for your own health. My keys, there's a flashlight on my keychain. You never know when a flashlight will come in handy. I find myself using it most of all in the car when I drop something down in the seat. One thing I like about this one is that when you pull it off, that's how you turn it on. And, it gives off a pretty nice little beam of light. And it turns off when you plug it back in. Boop. And then see, this is a little rubber covering. And when you pull, you have to take it off the hook. But when you pull it off of that, it's the charger. And that's how you charge it. You just stick it into a little USB, I don't know. But yeah, I love that little flashlight on my key ring. And I always carry an extra hair thing, a pen. I'm a little particular about my pens. This is a Sharpie S Gel. And then a protein bar, just because if I'm out and about and I need a snack.
If I use the protein bar or the drink mix when I'm out, I'll just replenish it when I get home. So that's everything in my bag, and I will show you how I pack it up now. I liked how this pocket in the front is divided. This is one reason why. I put my keys on the key lash, and it goes on this side, and that's all that stays in there. And then on this side, I put my AirPods and the 2 lip balms. And now I know exactly where to find my keys and my AirPods and my lip balms, and that gets zipped up. Then the main compartment, I pack out this way. This like stretchy mesh sleeve, I tuck my sunglasses in there. And then this front part is where I put my phone. And both of those feel very protected because it's really soft here and this is very soft. Then in this pocket, I put my wallet, my tissues, my eye drops, my hand sanitizer, and my lotion. Oh, I forgot. I actually tuck the pen underneath my phone. And I always know where my pen is because it's right there underneath my phone. Then I put my hair tie just anywhere in here. Finally, I add a protein bar, and that zips right up. It seems like a lot of stuff, but it stays very organized. I know where everything is, and see how it kind of settles down and you can see everything. I actually could even fit more in there if I wanted to, but I don't really need to. Is there anything that you would need in that pocket that I haven't thought of? Let me know in the comments. I read all the comments and I try so hard to respond to every single one of them. I'm sorry if I miss any. I really enjoy responding to the comments. Even on vacation, I've been responding to comments because I just love talking to you guys. Thanks. Then finally, there is this back kind of secret pocket, and I tuck my passport in there, and then because it's flat, I tuck this little packet of electrolytes in there. And I am ready to go. If you're getting value out of this video, please hit the like button. It really helps other people find this kind of content when they're interested in it. I haven't had a weigh-in in a few weeks because I've been on vacation. So next week I'll catch you up on my weigh-in. Be sure to subscribe if you're not so that you can catch that weigh-in video. So all the stuff in my bag that I showed you in that video is basically exactly the same on vacation, except for 2 things. One is that I don't carry my keys in here because I don't need my house keys or my car keys or anything. I have those on a key clip in my personal item so that when I get home, I know exactly where my keys are. I haven't thought about them my whole vacation, but I know exactly where they are when it's time for me to get home. And that didn't used to be the case. I used to get home and have to rummage through my bags. Where are my keys? And hope that they were somewhere. So my keys are not in here. And the other change is that I added this carabiner. It's called a hero clip. I'll link to it below. You can hook something onto your bag with it, but even better than that, is that you can turn it into a hook and put this on the side of a table and hang your bag on it. So you don't have to have your bag on the ground. And so that's really come in handy in restaurants and stuff. I just put this on the table next to me and hang my bag there. And I don't have to put it on the back of my chair where it doesn't feel secure, or keep it on my lap, which is annoying. So I carry this when I travel. And yeah, like I said, I'll link to it below. I don't carry it with me at home every day. I don't need it, but for travel, I use it. So those are the only changes to what you saw in my bag. Otherwise, everything's exactly the same in here as I showed you. I didn't know until I was diagnosed with ADHD that it was really common for women who had been undiagnosed their whole life to get diagnosed after menopause. Why did no one tell me? Please tell me in the comments below if that has happened to you too, and if you'd be interested in me talking about it more in future videos, because it's definitely something I could share. Figuring out better ways to manage my ADHD is part of my health journey, and Zepbound, like I said, is giving me more mental space and energy and time. I don't have to think so much about food, and I'm thinking about other things like getting my together.
I have a few thoughts if you're wanting to organize your bag. Here's what's helped for me and my ADHD brain. The first thing is lay everything out. Before you choose like what bag or purse you're going to use, spread everything out that you actually use every day, and it helps you to see how much space you really need. I had some gigantic purses, and when I looked at what I actually needed, they didn't need to be swimming in those big bags. And that's how I ended up with this little 2.5 liter crossbody bag. I know I'm such a geek about fabric. I design patterns for fabric, and this one, oof, the fabric, I love it.
Oh my God. I'm a weirdo.
Okay, anyway, the system that works for you isn't what will work for everyone. What you need every day, depends on what it is that you're doing. Second is start with your real life. What do you actually reach for every day? Don't try to plan and organize a bag for your what if self, but your actual day-to-day self. My just in case ideal self carries lipstick and a hairbrush in her bag. And truthfully, I never reapply lipstick when I'm out. I'll put on lip balm. If I'm really fancy, I put on tinted lip balm. And truthfully, I never brush my hair when I'm out. So those things did not go in my bag. Do I want to be that fancier version of myself? Kind of, but I'm not. I'm just not. So I'm not going to carry them around. But things that do belong in my bag are having a protein bar handy, because I never really know when I'm going to want a snack, and having electrolytes handy, because sometimes I just really need to add a little bit of salt to the water for it to get digested easier. I wouldn't have had those before I started GLP-1s, but I have them now. So whatever it is that you're using regularly, that will guide what size bag you want to use, what kind of organization it has, those kinds of things. The next thing is try and audit when you think you know what you want to put in your purse. Carry it around for a while and see how it works. See if there are things that don't get used and see if there are things that you're missing. I did this and I was missing Kleenex. I don't know, I hadn't thought about it. And then I was out and I wanted Kleenex, so I put Kleenex in it. I think in my previous bag, I didn't have tissues in it because I never knew when I was out of tissues. Now I can see them and I know when it's time to put in a new pack of tissues. Now that you've audited out whatever it is that you don't need and you've added in things that you've thought about that you do need, take your items and group them into similar types of items. Like you might have a lot more items than I do. I work from home, but if you go to an office every day, there might be things you take to work every day. I don't have small kids at home. That's a whole different story. You might need a much bigger bag, right? I know I did when my kids were young. But for whatever reason, you're going to have the things that you need. Group them together for like meds or tech or kids. And if you want to further organize them, use pouches to keep them organized. For me, if I can't see through a pouch, I forget what's in it. And so I never open it and I just don't even realize that I am carrying that thing. That's kind of an ADHD thing. It's like out of sight, out of mind. I like to use clear plastic pouches. If I use pouches, I don't need any in this one because it's small enough. But like in my travel backpack, I have some clear pouches for things because I just have to be able to see in. Another alternative is just to have different colored pouches so that you know, like, the red pouch is my tech stuff and the yellow pouch is my snacks, or something like that. Then the next tip is choose a bag that has good visibility, that isn't just a big black hole and everything just kind of sinks to the bottom and things are hard to find. If it has some kind of organization, whether it's different pockets or different pockets that zip separately or just different pockets within the bag to help keep you organized, or different pouches that you introduce to the bag. Those all help with visibility so that you can see what you have. The visual cues of being able to see as many of my belongings as possible in a bag is really much easier on my ADHD brain. In fact, I brought with me on this trip one of those packable grocery bags, not grocery bags, but like a plastic thin nylon packable tote that packs into a little, square. And I had it in my bag, but it kind of drifted down to the bottom of a bigger bag, not this one. It was a little day backpack. And so I forgot it was there. And we were actually out someplace where I could have used it. And I just completely forgot I had it. And we paid the little like minimal, I think it translated to 25 cents or something to buy a grocery bag. Because if you don't bring your own bags here, you have to buy one. And I remember I paid for that bag and I thought, oh, shoot, we should have brought our own bags. And I had a bag, but it was just down in my backpack where I couldn't see it. So if I'd had it more organized, I would have been able to know that I had a bag because it would have, like visually, I would have had that reminder. Later, I unpacked and I saw it and I was like, oh, yep, forgot I had that. Do you have a favorite brand of purse or bag? I'm really liking this Belroy. Oop, the sun is hitting it. Eh, There we go. I'm liking Belroy a lot. I like their style. They are on the spendier end of things. I also really like Bagolini. They're also spendy, but here's my frugal tip. I've been using them for over 10 years, and all of them I've gotten at TJ Maxx deeply marked down. They usually have the original price tag on them, and it'll be like a $130 bag, and I'll get it for like $40. Awesome. They're very durable. That's why I've had them for so long because they just last forever. I don't have one here with me on vacation, or I'd show you. I'll try to find some pictures and put them up because I really like Bagolini. I only ever find the black ones in TJ Maxx, but they come in fun colors too. And I'm curious if you have favorite brands of purses, or if it's not by brand, if it's more just like you see something you like and that will work for you and you get it. I'm just always curious because I am, just like I said, really trying to get organized and get my stuff together. Thank you to everyone who clicked on the link with my 2 questions and wrote out questions for me. I'm going to turn it into a Q&A video soon. And I'll put the link in this description too. It's just 2 quick questions asking, what kinds of things you're dealing with, what questions you have so that I can create videos that you want to see. If you're here because you love packing videos and organization, you'll want to check out my video on the personal item that I just totally love. And if you're more curious about my GLP-1 journey and how that's been going for me post-menopause, then head over to my 6-month review. I'll see you there.